So going back to lesson 1.6 and just reviewing what we previously talked about, it says choose the correct algebraic expression for the verbal expression twice the sum of a number and 7. So read through that one more time and then circle A, B, C, or D to which one you think that matches. Okay. How many of us selected option A? How many of us selected option B? C? Okay. And D. Sorry, 1 second. There you go. All right, so a majority of you selected C, which is the correct answer. Because again, the twice implies 2. The sum tells you addition, and then number n and 7. Okay, question 2. Evaluate y squared plus xz plus y when x is 0.4, y is 3, and z is 5/4. Yes, you can get a calculator. There are some back here. So again, before I even used my calculator, I would rewrite this equation, plugging in all of the numbers. Before I use a calculator, I would rewrite this equation, plugging in all of those numbers. And then in order to simplify, you need to recall your order of operations. Order of operations say you have to do the parentheses and exponents to start. So you could do 3 squared because that comes first to the left. So you get 9. I do?
Yeah. X is 0.4, yours is 1.4.
Oh, that was a parenthesis.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah. That's my leg. And then the next thing you have to do is inside your parentheses. So here, this comes first. That's multiplication. We multiply before we add. So we're going to have to multiply 0.4 and 5/4 together. And that's where you have to be careful on your calculators. So I tried to make this, and my pen's not writing very pretty today. I put these in parentheses. If you're using the calculator where you can enter those, that will make sure it multiplies the 0.4 times the 5, then divides by 4. You should get 0.5. Then we have to add those two values together because we're still in the parentheses. And 9 plus 3.5 is 12.5, which is answer option B. So I'll give you guys a minute to copy that down if you need it. And then number 3, rewrite the following in simplest form. What's it called when I multiply that 2 to the quantity 5b minus 6? What property am I applying? Abby, what do you think? It is the distributive. Fantastic. So when I multiply the 2 to the 5b minus 6, that's called the distributive. So that's what you guys need to do first when you start this problem to simplify. Grouping 10b and 3b together is called combining like terms. So 10 plus 3 is 13b. So we get answer A. So previously we evaluated and simplified algebraic expressions. Today we're going to translate sentences into equations. Tomorrow we're going to translate equations into sentences. And then kind of what's new now is we're solving these as well. So we have some new vocabulary. Our new vocabulary is the word formula. So you need to copy down the definition of formula. Formula is a rule for the relationship between certain quantities. A formula is a rule for the relationship between certain quantities. Can anybody name a formula that they've used in math class or science class? Can anybody think of a formula? Shapes have lots of formulas. What's a formula we'd use with a shape? Got it, Abby? Yeah, length times width times height. That's the formula for volume. So an example could be volume equals length times width times height. You might have area equals 1/2 base times height. Anybody know what area equals 1/2 base times height is? What shape? What shape do we use 1/2 base times height with? Luke? It is a triangle. And then the volume equals length times width times height. That's typically for like a cube or a rectangular type of prism. All right, so example A. Translate this sentence into an equation. A number B divided by 3 is equal to 6 less than C. So you're going to have B divided by 3 is equal to, puts equal signs. 6 less than C is kind of like subtracting backwards, so it's going to be C minus 6. So each of those 3 parts break down into a different part of the equation. You have the B divided by 3 part, the equal to part, and the 6 less than C part. So again, that is our equation. We could solve that equation for B or C. And that's kind of what we're building up to. Right now we're writing them. Eventually we'll be solving them. $15 more than Z times 6 is Y times 2 minus 11. This one is significantly more complicated. We have to break this down into a few parts now. So we're going to break it down into a bunch of different pieces to really analyze and take an analysis of each part. So the number 15, more than means plus. Z is our variable. Times means to multiply. And you should use the star or a dot. Try to avoid the X. 6 is another way of saying equal to. Is means equal signs. In math, the word is means equal signs. Y times 2 minus 11. So that's taking this problem for what it is. Now what we need to do is clean that up. Rearrange our terms to look like they should mathematically. Z times 6 will become 6Z. We don't put the coefficient after the variable. We put the variable after the coefficient. So we're going to take this and clean it up. So again, clean up example B. Okay, example C. Translate this sentence into an equation. A number C multiplied by 6 is equal to 2 more than D. So go ahead, read that one more time on your own, and then circle A, B, C, or D. Okay, how many of us selected option A? Okay, how many of you selected option B? C and D. So only one of you guys found an answer? Because I only had one person vote.
I accidentally forgot to put up A.
All right, that's a little better. So the correct answer is A. Multiplied means times, so that's the 6C. Equal to is your equal sign. More than is plus. Option D. Translate again. We have 3 less than a number divided by 4 is 7 more than 3 times B? So again, think about the fact that is represents equal signs. So it's really splitting that problem up for you into the left side and the right side. More than means add. Times is multiply.
Guys, I would write these out. I've seen a couple of you doing these in your head. And even though you're getting the right answer, you're going to want to practice writing this out.
Okay? Hold up a 1 if you got A 2 if you got B, a 3 if you got C, and a 4 if you got D. All right, the 3 of you, 3 hands up, you can put those down. How about Nick and Nevaeh? Guys, I need something.
Yeah, 3.
Oh, I couldn't see. Sorry, guys.
Which one do you want? He's also doing it
Okay.
right now.
Fantastic. We all picked option C. C is, in fact, the correct answer. Okay, we are going to talk about a 4-step word problem solving plan. So basically what we're going to do now is read some word problems and come up with equations just like we did for those past few examples. So there are 4 steps. The first step is understanding. You're going to read through the problem and highlight or underline important information. The planning is to write an equation and make sure you understand what the variables in each part represent. Then we're going to solve and check. A jelly bean manufacturer produces 1,250,000 jelly beans per hour. How many hours does it take them to produce 10 million jelly beans? Go ahead, Abby. Give me 2 seconds to walk through the 4 steps then. But yes, you can gladly give me that answer. So, the understanding. Understand what this really means. So what this means is that there are 1,250,000 jelly beans per hour. We want to know how long it takes to get to 10 million jelly beans. So what are we looking for? We are looking for the number of hours. Our answer needs to be a number of hours. To plan, we're going to write an equation that represents the situation. Since our answer is number of hours, we're going to make our variable h to represent hours. So our variable h represents hours. So we have 1,250,000 times hours equals to 10 million. That is our equation. 1,250,000. Oh, I have a typo. solve for H. So, Abby, you said you had an answer for me. What did you get for H?
8 hours.
Yep. Perfect. It takes 8 hours to produce 10 million jelly beans. So we divided both sides by 1,250,000 to get 8. Everybody okay with that? So your homework is the skills practice. You're doing problems 1 through 6. Your homework is that skills practice. You're doing problems 1 through 6.